Hello, kids. Hello. I thought I wiped the lens, and then that happened. What's up? How's it, everybody, for the week? How are you feeling? Good evening. I think Mike was buried up there at the top. Good evening, Mike. And then Jesse is busy doing the caretaker thing over in Estes Park, Colorado. So Jesse, I hope you're doing well and the internet doesn't fail you out there. What's up, Phil? Good to see you, Kevin. Brandon, Mr. Weapon retracted a message. The pressure got to him. Patty, good to see you. Tim, hello. Number one, Alexia and Christopher to round out the initial crew who showed up, who rolled up, who came over here. I thought I would have a haircut for you guys before tonight, but that didn't happen. So, I got the bobblehead thing going. I call it my Q-tip look when my beard is fuzzy and my hair is fuzzy, and it's just like a fuzzy. It's a Q-tip. Let's check in with the magic duff bucket because I'm parched. I'm just parched. Hey, man, it was good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. Hey, Jeff, your little chapbook arrived safe and sound this weekend. Thanks so much. No problem, man. I'm sorry. It is like I said, in my culture, it's an insult to send somebody a Bentley little chapbook. But I understand we're in, slightly different cultures there. you see it as a gift. So I'm glad it did. I hope you enjoy it. I did a review, like I said, on Goodreads, which I immediately wanted to retract because I know Brian James Freeman's not selling those chapbooks independently. Well, he kind of is, but he kind of isn't. So he doesn't really need good reviews because he's guaranteed they're out the door. But I felt bad. I just feel like, there are people that work on these things. Cheap Monday. And I trashed it. I have a heart sometimes. I have empathy. Hey, what's INR? Hello. Greetings and salutations. Stephen Wayne Ellison Jr. David, good to see you. Centipede sent me a shipping notification for what, Tim? I saw you just got Salem's Lot, right? In an unboxing, studies in film, right? Did you just get that? You just got something from them. Well, Magic Duff Bucket, of course. Me too, Tim. Can't wait to get it. What? I'm well into Salem's Lot film studies, Tim. Fascinating. So weird fiction. Oh, tell me you ordered it. I know, because Philip Fracassi has a story in there. Man, I didn't. It was an Easter Sunday celebration going on. And when the Centipede newsletter went out, I didn't get it. It didn't. Is it still available? Weird Fiction 13? Let me look. I should have had that baked into the should have had that baked in tonight. We're pulling it up. We're pulling it up. Salem's Lot. Oh man, I didn't know there was a new vintage horror. I'll share it with you. Hold up. Is it gone? If any old timers have interest in the 80s and 90s small press publisher Dark Harvest, be sure to pick up Centipede's new weird fiction review for my long collecting the modern macabre. There's another reason to order it. Weird fiction review number 17. Oh, I can only get to it through the link in the email. Ah, damn it. I got to go there. Hold, please. Oh, you know what? I don't even think I opened Sundays. No, I didn't. I didn't even open it. Weird fiction review number 13. So we'll pull it up. I'm looking at myself on the big monitor here, and I don't really. It's like I don't like that. I don't like look. It's weird looking at yourself. It really is. It is. It is not fun. So, this is what we got here. Weird fiction review, illustrated, history of horror pulps. So we got Ron Clinton in here, and then a TOC, which includes Philip Fracassi. Is he called out in here? Is the TOC shown? He's what's his story? I forgot what his story was. Hot red dress. I'm not seeing it, but I just could be I'm just a doofus, you know. So yeah, Fracassi's in it. Obviously, it's only $45. Oh, that changes things a little bit. Um, hmm. It's got Fracassi. It's got Ron Clinton talking about Dark Harvest. I'm getting pumped up about it. Okay, well that's good to know. I mean, I'm busy right now, guys. I'm doing this live stream thing, and drinking. So I probably will get back to it, but that's what it's shipping already. See, I love it. I love it. Shipping already. What's up, hardcover? Good to see you. Strike 2, Jeff. Oh, I'm on strike 50,000, Stephen Dwayne. Like, unless they expire, because I'm sure I've struck so many times, struck out, that unless they expire, that I have a whole long string behind me. Johnson and Johnson. What's usually the print run on these paperbacks? I don't know. I don't know if he even mentions the print run. It doesn't say. Why does it say published fall 2024 on the page? That's wild. And I don't own a Centipede Press paperback. So that's an interesting thing. What's up? What's up, Robert? Philip posted its name in Freaks, but I can't remember a new story. I think it was Hot Red Dress, right? Howdy, Jason. Did I say that? I'm not going to remember. Yeah, compared to waiting for summer 2026 for a sun tub. Well, there are, here's the thing. They just do the business differently. Like Paul uses the pre-orders to fund the press to get the project going, almost like a personal Kickstarter. And he's working to the day when he can announce a book that's already sitting in his warehouse or at his bindery ready to ship out. That's the dream. And few publishers achieve that. Jared being one of them, but he's been at it for over 20 years. And Cemetery Dance has been at it over, 30 years, 35 years, 40. I don't know how long they've been going at it. And they're going the other direction. Although a label was created in Forest Hill, Maryland for me, according to my Informed Delivery app on my phone. So that means my stand is boxed, maybe, or they just printed the label out, and tomorrow they're gonna slap that label on it, and they're gonna drop media mail it to me, the gift edition of the stand. That's crazy. I mean, I think that's like the Pope dies and then the stand shows up. If that's not end times, I don't know what is. So, yeah. Those two things, it's like these are foretold, I think, in a book somewhere. Too bad that Centipede isn't hardcover. Well, yeah. Did anyone else get the Twisted Retreats invitation today for Hush My Darling by Lee Kenney? I did not. I wasn't on it. But I did see your thing, Mike. You were asking if anybody got a shipping notice. I did. I got a shipping notice on March 13th, just like you, and nothing else. So I just assume it's taken a while. My Russian Boys in the Valley took forever. So I think a little patience right now with the way trade is going on around the world and shipping, and I think holding on for a little bit is probably the best way to go. Um, I'm not going to look that up right now. I was going to look up British pound to the dollar to see if it's time to buy SST titles. Um, I now have a teenager in the house. Doesn't that necessitate a certain proof be on hand at all times or something? You mean a certain proof of alcohol? Like if you have a teenager, I don't know if there's a formula. Is there one where you have to have like when you have a toddler? Well, you shouldn't have any alcohol on hand when you have a toddler. Toddlers are so unpredictable that if you're not sharp and ready, that there could be, but a teenager maybe just to chill the nerves. Well, congratulations on the teenager. We had three teenagers in this house at one time, and our teenagers are awesome. They still are, they continue to be, and I have every reason to believe that when I wake up tomorrow and I see them all again, I will smile inwardly and outwardly. They're awesome. So enjoy your teenager while you still can, Kevin. I'm still waiting for Centipede's Frankenstein. Yeah. So sometimes Centipede does have to do the front load thing, or they like, I think Jared just wants to avoid a last minute headache, wants to get all of that secured, and then by the time it's in his warehouse, all he has to do is get it out, you know? Maybe. Good evening, Lance. Good to see you. We're getting the stand before GTA VI. What is GTA VI? Oh, GTA 6. I thought it was a book title. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. So, Jesse, were you wondering if GTA 6, like, what's going to come? What's the like yeah, GTA 6 is ridiculous. And the price on that, I think they're going to go to $120 on the initial release. It's bonkers. That has been in limbo so long. I think, do people even care? Like, has it been so long? Maybe it's been so long that people at one point stopped giving a shit, and now they're back to giving the shits. Who knows? But at $120, that is funny. Chismark could at least say, "Hey, at least it's not GTA 6." That's funny. On March 14th, the email from Twisted Retreat I got said that they are expecting the books in May. Really? I have a shipping notice, like Mike said. I got a shipping notice on March 13th, and it was basically, let me see. Yeah. It says your order is on its way. Your order is on the way. Track your shipment to see the delivery status. And then that was it. And then I think maybe they sent an email the next day. Maybe that's what happened, Alexia. Maybe they sent one the next day saying, oopsie doodle. We didn't mean that. And they're going to get them in May. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't too worried about it. Twisted Retreat. Ian Rogers, every house is haunted. Toddlers are easily defeated by high shelves. Oh my God. I mean, yeah. Childproofing the house is fun. It's fun. And it's nerve-wracking. And all the baby monitors. I think producer Jill has PTSD over baby monitors. We are glued to ours. It was like not really toddler stage, but we had the baby monitors for so many, many, many years because we just didn't learn our lesson. We had three kids. We didn't learn the lesson our first and second child taught us, and then we had Ben, and then he's like, you know, this is it. Like, you guys got to stop. You've got to stop having babies. A lot of you, a lot if you have a teenage daughter. So the proof has to go up. I wonder if there's a formula out there. Maybe there, I used to traffic or, traffic. I used to swim in the mommy blogger circles because I had a dad blog. And so I went to Blog U, was all these mommy bloggers. I'm sure if we had been chatting, if I was still active in those circles, there would be a shirt with a formula that's like Einstein's theory of relativity. And it would be like age of your child times number of siblings plus equals, and then like whatever proof of alcohol you should have on hand, like in a break glass in case of emergency thing, but you don't break the glass because if you did, every time you had an emergency, then you'd just be constantly replacing the glass. So there's no glass. And that's the joke. Because there's been so many emergent, and you got bandages on your knuckles because you couldn't wait. You couldn't grab the little hammer and break the glass. You just punched it and you just like raw dogged it. You grabbed that bottle and you're like, ah. And when I was at Blog U, there was one presentation and I told them to go pound sand up their ass. I was so annoyed where they were like, no, no, no. They were lecturing all these mommy bloggers that they were making too many day drinking and wine jokes. Now, I'll admit the wine jokes were like, okay, that's low hanging fruit. It's pretty tired. Like, can we move on? But to get lectured by these high and mighty douchebags about don't joke about drinking. That is not funny. It's like, do you not understand context? Do you not understand humor? Do you not understand venting? It was so annoying. So maybe a shirt like that wouldn't have gotten made because they were shamed into not discussing, copium, essentially. And a few boxes of Just for Men hair dye. I don't know. I see the gray in my beard and the sort of deadness in my hair, and I'm like, I don't care. Really. I was never gonna leave a good-looking corpse. You know what I'm saying? So really, but the hair dye is helpful for some, I guess. Yeah, mine was a shipping notice with tracking. I know, Mike. So I looked at mine as well, and I did look at the tracking, and it said USPS is still expecting the item, so it's still an active number. But I think they prematurely notified us, is what they did. Hey, Claire. Wow, I didn't mean the Peter Brady stuff. Hello, Claire. Went to my radio voice. Mystery Walk, finally. Yes, Mystery Walk, Lavidian. I got the shipping notice. Mystery Walk. And it's so funny. I get a shipping notice from Lavidian. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'm happy to get Mystery Walk. And it's another Robert McCammon and genius, brilliant author, all that stuff. In the same week, I get a shipping notice for The Stand. It's kind of a moment. And it shows where Brian James Freeman came from and where he is now, where like I appreciate the shipping notice from him, but I'm shocked by a shipping notice from his predecessor. And for a long time, I thought I was going to be out $350 at Cemetery Dance. I held on. And here's what I think. I think those assholes, that asshole, should give everybody who didn't cancel their initial order from either 2014 or 2018. Because in 2014 they did the whole Double Day Years bundle, so everybody who bought that bundle got all the books all at once. So there's really nothing to cancel. So if you bought that in 2014, you should be guaranteed all the way to Pet Sematary. So canceling, really, you can't because you bought the bundle. But I bought in 2018 and I just bought The Stand and I held on to it. I didn't cancel it through all of this time. I held on to it despite some days thinking they're never going to deliver this book. It's not coming. They're going to go belly up and Chismar is going to just disappear. He's going to ghost everybody. It's going to be another Dark Regions. And I still held on. Now, all those people who held on despite knowing or feeling or thinking that they were about to lose real money, they should get a Stephen King signature in their book. And I'm not just speaking for me. I'm talking like the 2014 people as well. Those people really showed faith in Cemetery Dance. And anybody who held on should be really everybody should get a signature. But did you see the print run? It's going to be like 3,000 gift editions. Stephen King's never signing all of those. And then I think the artist edition is it's at least 750. But I could be wrong. The Stand. Oh, you can't just get to The Stand? What? Why wouldn't they let you? It's not like it's a secret. Huh. I can't. I'm not able to get to The Stand. That's weird. I thought the ordering page would still be up, but whatever. So I don't know how many of the artist editions. Stephen King's never going to sign all those. Chismar's not going to go out of his way. He's probably like, at this point, let's just get the goddamn books out, and that's fine. But I don't know. He owes people at least an apology. I hope there's at least a Paul Michael Caine designed postcard of an official apology from Richard Chismar in the book, signed by Dick Chiz himself. I am sorry. Maybe just have him write "I'm an asshole" 300 times and then sign it. I don't know. He should, but whatever. It's remarkable. I saw it. I didn't get a shipping notice emailed to me, but my like I said, my informed delivery, which notifies me of any packages coming to my house with addressed to me or whatever, or not. If it's coming to my house and it's a package, I get notified the moment the label's created. So it's coming, and it really is. Like, I didn't realize how much I was not expecting that book to ever ship. And now I'm kind of on the fence about Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary will likely ship. Maybe not. I don't know. I had zero faith. I'm like, The Stand will maybe make it, but definitely not Pet Sematary. That's no way that's going to see the light of day. But I don't know. That's the thing. Like, once they pump these books out and they restore some faith, but I think they salted the earth. Like, it is scorched earth. I don't even think if they get Pet Sematary out that people will buy with confidence from Cemetery Dance. I just think they're going to just shut off the limited line. The limited line, really, that's at Levidian now. So I think that's done. They're going to do their really shitty print-on-demand hardcovers from authors that will no longer be subsidized by Stephen King. Although I did hear from somebody in the know that there will be another Stephen King title from Cemetery Dance, a new title, like maybe even signed. I'm not sure, but they're going to have another Stephen King title beyond Pet Sematary or before Pet Sematary, like they did with Sleeping Beauties and, From a Buick 8. Well, that was way, way back. But, so yes, I've gotten some of that information. But they also did that bullshit with facing the crowd. Like, how much and how often can they dangle that? Nobody's got their flight and fright, right? Whatever the name was. Nobody got their signed editions of that. They didn't get the lettered, and they didn't get the artist even. I know because I canceled it. And facing the crowd lettered, that never surfaced. Francois just posted that he was credited with the cover art. He's like, I didn't do the cover art. So the typos and the lack of quality assurance at Cemetery Dance is phenomenal. It is great. It is phenomenal over there. They're so bad. Let's see what else. Let's see what you all have been saying. I missed it. Just returned from 2 weeks in Seattle where it was cool 60-ish and sunny. Returned to Texas, dust storms and tornadoes. Oh, Texas. Austin. Keep it weird, man. Yeah, I got my copy of Senseless from BAM over the weekend, and I think I have another one coming because I called customer support on Thursday and said I hadn't received my copy yet. That's funny. I should get a signed copy of Senseless from somewhere. I didn't order one. I've not ordered books, man. I have stopped like ordering books. You know, you have a book problem when you have over 20 orders to be fulfilled. I was there, Jason. I was there. Not right now. I don't have that many pre-orders. Got mine. Jason didn't realize the BAM version was coming with stained edges. Looks just like Forbidden Planet. Are they still available? Books A Million? Do they still have Senseless by Malfi? We're going there. We're there. We're Senseless. Malfi. Senseless Malfi. So I'm looking. We'll see what loads. We'll see what loads and what explodes. Autographed. Add to cart. Look at that. It's in stock. And it's black stained edges, sprayed edges, whatever. Ooh, I'm going to add it to the cart just so you guys can see. Ship to me. Ship it to me. Okay, well, we'll just leave that in the cart for later. Isn't that fun? Malfi, Senseless, autographed. Not signed. No. Autographed, where it sounds so much more sophisticated. Not a signed edition. Cool. I hope Port Angeles continues to impress. Oh, yes. Good corpses get a discounted grave plot. Really? Phil, I'm going to make arrangements with you. I think I need to be interred there, Phil. Why not? Why not? I think I'll just be. I really just want to be planted under one of my peach trees. And then when the roots grow through my corpse, all the new peaches that bloom will have my face on them and just scream. They'll just constantly scream. And then when they get really ripe, they'll puke out the pit and they'll just swear constantly. And that way my grandkids can see. When I'm dead and gone, the grandkids can come by and visit with grandpa. New edition of Red Rising released by BAM. New edition of Red Rising. That just sounds like something that happens with a dog that hasn't been fixed. I don't like that title. Yo, Mitch is here. He's sending some shit out. He's sending out some chappies. Fitted sheets are coming for you. Great story. And I haven't watched any other reviews on it. I know that Tim did a review and Too Many Books did a review. And I haven't seen their takes on it. But I liked the story. I thought it was really cool. And a lot of fun. And I like not having everything spelled out. Let me just try to get at that subtext. So good stuff's coming, and I think Mitch did a great job with that bright. Is it bright blue? It's really cool. Yeah, it looks nice. I might have 3 copies of the same book again. Right now, I regret canceling all my CD pre-orders, but somehow I think it will be blessing in the end. I mean, it depends on how many, right? I canceled all of them except the stand. And then this one that I had a forthcoming grab bag that I had 4 out of the 6 books promised to me. So I'm like, there's nothing to cancel there. And then Turn Down the Lights, which I tried to cancel and they flubbed it. So it's still a pre-order from 2013. But I only have $25 into that book. $25 from 2013. That's like $800 now. But in 2013, $25 didn't kill me. So if they go belly up and I never get Turned Down the Lights, I'm not going to lose too much sleep. Patty, I think I said hi to you, but now I'm afraid I didn't. So just to cover bases. And if I say hi to you twice, don't be offended. I check my door. Once we leave the house, if I lock it, I check the door between 20 and 400 times. So don't regret canceling your orders, Einar. I believe that was probably the right thing. The stand to me meant a tremendous lot. Like I really, really, really love that book. So I was gonna hold on, and I just, against all odds, decided to hold on. Pet Cemetery is another important book to me. I love that book. I mean, I remember reading it and then talking about it with my aunts who also read Stephen King at the time. And it was like, it was sort of, a magic book for me. But I just, no way am I buying it. It's $150 for the gift and $375 for the artist edition. And I will have all number 34s of the artist edition, except for, well, I didn't get Salem's Lot or Carrie, but whatever. I'll have the stand, but I won't have Pet Cemetery. That's a shame. It sucks, but whatever. That post, dude, leaving us hanging with that vague ass post. Tell me about it, Mike. Mitch posted he never thought he'd be doing this at this point in his publishing career. And then he doesn't say what it is, and he says hashtag vague booking. I mean, that's pretty awful, Mitch. Like, that's pretty bad. So you're going to make, you know what? Here, I'll announce it. Since you didn't say what it was, Mitch, I'll just tell everybody, I'll make something up. And then that way people will be like, I don't know. You left a void, you left a vacuum to fill. So Mitch is publishing a brand new Stephen King title, and it's signed. It's his first hardcover. It's a deluxe limited edition of Never Flinch from Rapture Publishing. And it's signed by Stephen King and Joe Hill. Owen King did the introduction, so he's also signing. Tabitha King did the afterword. Tabitha King did the afterword, and she's also signing. And they got a special dedication from oh my God, what's her name? Stephen King's daughter. I want to say Ursula, but it's not Ursula. Naomi King also signed. So Rapture Publishing is doing a limited edition of Never Flinch, and it's signed by the entire King family. There you go. Dudes, I got my shipping notice for the infamous Secret Gateway set from Dim Shores doing Yemen's work. No way Chiz would send King signed books. If he signed any, they will be used to sell more stuff. I know. Peaches will be picked. Jeff, Park Books also has a Senseless signed 8 in stock. Oh, Park Books, that's who I should support. Are they sprayed edges? Those peaches would be like 95% bit. Bruh! You're right. Oh, take it easy, Ron. I didn't know you even left the chat. I can't go back and read all these. It's a shame if CD does another Stephen King title because unfortunately I will never buy from them again. 6 years wait for Gone Girl only to receive a substandard book. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I am the new Chiz. Mitch. So the whole King family. Yeah. Oh, every single one of them. Even Molly, the thing of evil, the dog, there's a paw print on each one. I mean, it's a signature sheet. So the whole family, they got the dog print. Mitch really went all out on that. And Mitch then got adopted into the family. I don't know how that works out. I still have 11 orders from CD. Some are not worth canceling because I used gift certificates. Yeah, or they're half off sales. Those get converted to store credit. Yeah, I know. What's the point? Like at this point, just ride it out. Chisholm, Mitch, don't say that. Like that is serious, Mitch. You can't just say those things. Mitch is the new Mindy. He will respond to all email inquiries and honor refunds. Yeah. I'll never one of my most prized Richard Chismar signatures is on my refund check. I show it to you guys all the time. Happy to show it to you more. Oh, you acquired Cemetery Dance. I didn't see the big joke, Mitch. I love that. You did. So that's your big thing. You acquired Cemetery Dance, and now you are screwed. You are screwed with a capital F. Because anybody who buys Cemetery Dance is just buying a lot of bad vibes and pain. And just pain. Because you're going to have to dig up to get out of that hole. Dig up, stupid. But that would be cool if you did. Oh, we actually changed. Oh, you guys are talking about Seattle. Anyway, Mitch is moving to Bangor. CD is cemetery debt. I love it. I love that. Anyone who buys CD at this point is being bent over by Mr. Purple. Chad wins the internet today. Mr. Purple. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I got to say, like, I can gloat and be happy that I'm at least getting the gift edition. Now, I don't even have the artist edition of the stand, right? So I can say I'm getting the gift edition, but I'm still gambling on that artist edition, which is a big gamble. But buying new books from them, I think they know it too. So they're going to do their shitty print on demand titles. And, think about Bruises on a Butterfly. They had a partner with Thunderstorm to do a decent hardcover. I seriously think that whatever magic Chismar had was gone by the time Brian James Freeman left. And I think Brian James Freeman was really the one making those hardcovers sing. And once he left, everything worthwhile about Cemetery Dance went with him. Even though, Stephen King's Jockstrap still owns Cemetery Dance. So the King Cup is that's the one thing that nobody else has, is that direct line. Who else penned a book with Stephen King? I don't know. Do you see anybody else? 2 books. Who else got permission to be mayor of Castle Rock for Gwendy's Magic Feather? So that's what he's going to take to the grave. Nobody else has that honor. Jared didn't write one. Brian James Freeman didn't write one. Brian James Freeman is a much better author than Richard Chismar. He might not be everybody's vibe. He's very mournful and quiet, but a much greater talent than Richard Chismar. What Richard Chismar has is that, I didn't read any of the Boogeymen, and I'm never going to read anything unless somebody sends me a free book. because I won't support that guy. But when I read Girl on the Porch and Widow's Point, what he has is he's a competent writer. Like he could string a sentence together that makes sense with the next sentence that strings along something of a narrative. So you have a story and it takes you from one point to another, and he can do it. He's technically a good writer, but he has no heart. He has no depth, and I don't see anything worthwhile. Like there's nothing timeless about what he's writing. I didn't think new things, That's what I want from a story. I want to think new things. I want to see something a new way. And nothing from Richard Chismar. Like he took A Girl on a Porch as a headline out of a newspaper, and then he wrote a story and he put himself and all his friends in it. Chismar was inquiring for a trade on a signed Stephen King magazine on Twitter 3 days ago. The post is still up. Thought those were all supposed to be given away. Wow. Brian James Freeman is MVP, no doubt about it. Dan Franklin is great. Yes, he is. But Chiz has to okay all payments, so Franklin can only do so much. Right. That's the thing. That's the thing with the people. He's got meat shields, right? Brian James Freeman was his meat shield. Now Dan Franklin is, Mindy is, and he just puts them in front. They take all the bullets. They have no power. They can't give satisfactory answers. And that's another reason to hate Richard Chismar, what he does to the people who work for him. Well, I'll let you know if he mentions King on his gravestone. Did you all see you can get the past Brian James Freeman chapbooks if you hurry and order? Must be a Patreon member, though, I think. Yes, that's why I didn't really go into it, but I have a whole thing about chapbooks. Tyler Jones is going to be shipping his chapbook to Patreon supporters. So I don't know if you're not. You should be. Tyler Jones is a great author. I hope he's doing well. I haven't seen any health updates, but I've been so unplugged, I'm telling you. But he is Tyler Jones is shipping out the chapbook. And then yes, Brian James Freeman for the Patreons. So I can't show it to you, but if you're a patron and you wanted those old chapbooks, now some of those old chapbooks from Levidian were getting stupid bank on the secondary. You got What's in a Name, which is the alternate titles for the working titles for Stephen King books. And then Francois did all new covers for those old discarded titles, which is fun. It would be like Observe by Philip Fracassi is a working title. Then it becomes Third Rule. So years and years later, Francois can do those alternate covers, even though there was a cover. And it was an eyeball because you can only observe. And then what else was a big heavy hitter? You Are Released by Joe Hill, that chapbook, heavy hitter. So there's a lot of chapbooks that people were hunting down. Mr. Purple was a huge one. I mean, some Mr. Purples are huger than others from the footage I've seen. Let that ring out. Don't build on it. Maybe, you know what? Pour. If you gotta buy some time, Jeff, just pour a beer. So yeah, that is very cool. That is very cool. Chismar must have pictures he is using to blackmail Stephen King. I know. That's what I say. Same thing with Bentley Little. What does he have on people? Peter Straub. What about Peter Straub? Peter Straub has had pictures. Get chizzed. Got to run. Just wanted to pop in and say hello. I'm glad you were here, Chad. Chad Lutsky, ladies and gentlemen. Chad Lutsky. Brilliant author. Brilliant author. Far better than far. See, now I don't like to rank authors, but I put Chad Lutsky above Brian James Freeman only out of personal style. right? Like I vibe. I am more mood with Chad Lutzke. Like the worlds he's writing about remind me of worlds I've dipped my toes in, like the people I used to be around, the sort of energy of those houses, of those people, and the way they carried themselves are very familiar to me. And so Chad Lutzke is a total mood, and I get it. And I think his stuff is amazing. Brian James Freeman is a brilliant author, and everything I've read by him, I've loved. Um, but I just don't go back to it as compulsively, And I think that says something kind of subconscious, maybe, because there are times where, like, I'm reading Keelan Patrick Burke, and I'm like, why do I wait to read Keelan Patrick Burke? Like, why have I not read every single one of his words? And then it's like I'll finish a book from Keelan Patrick Burke, and then I'll move on and I'll read X number of other authors, and then like I'm not moving Keelan up the pile yet, but when I do, it's like candy. And I'm like, every single time I'm wondering why I'm not. Brian James Freeman, for some reason, his writing doesn't get that sort of reaction out of me. But doing dirty work, and the one where the last beautiful day, man, great stuff. He's a brilliant writer. And in some ways, I think if I did read more of him, I would have that. Why did I wait so long? The thing is, I've never read. I'm somebody who wants to read novels. Like, I don't really like short stories. It's not my chosen format to read. I want something that's longer, something that's more of a place I can live in for a while, Like, I need to get to know the characters. I need to get to know. I want to be in a world. And the short story gives you sort of it's a day trip. And sometimes you like a day trip, but sometimes you just want to be transported, and you want to put down roots for a little bit. My Mr. Purple is still for sale. I think that's illegal, Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr. I think that's illegal. So, the back page of the Reader, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr. You could sell your Mr. Purple on the back page of the Reader. Have a great evening, Chad. Yes. Late, but now here. Thank you, Jason. You're engraving things. You're busy. You have to spin the plates, man. Your interviews with Keelan Patrick Burke are the best. I'm gonna make that one public, the book club one. I didn't make it public yet. It's on my YouTube, but it's private. So I'll make it public so everybody can see the book club chat we had with Keelan Patrick Burke. But if you haven't read Kin, maybe you don't want to because there might be spoilers, etc. Interviews. Is there more than one with Keelan Patrick Burke? I must have missed one, and we'll have to track it down. Yeah, I did a few, but again, the one was the most recent was the book club. But I did 2 for the Suntop releases. I did one for guests, and then I had one for Kin. Great time talking to him. Same thing with Stephen Graham Jones. Every time I read him, blown away, but I don't rush right into another for a long while. That's interesting. Speaking of short stories, thought on Suntop's release this past week. Buffalo Hunter was fabulous. Yeah, I can't wait to get mine. Only if you're a diehard fan of Hill. I don't know. It looks awesome. I didn't get it. It was let's all look at it. I mean, let's all look at it. Why don't we? Ooh, what do I got going on here? There is so many windows. You got the Black Phone by Joe Hill, the numbered edition, which is $450. There are 8 available. You can buy it. You want to buy it? And these are the. Did Reiko Murakami do all the art? Yeah, 4 color illustrations by award-winning artist Reiko Murakami, beautifully printed. Yeah, I love Ryko's work. He did the Grady Hendrix stuff for SST, and I think he's doing a great job here. The Black Phone, um, I didn't get it. It has the Zircol paper, which they are a press, they are a paper mill that is out of business, and you can't get this paper anymore. There's the art. I want to read The Black Phone, but I don't have a copy of 20th Century Ghosts. I don't know where mine went. I think somebody came in and stole it. Winter of 2025. You got some months to wait. There are 8 available. Let me refresh this page for you. There are still 8 available. If you are a Joe Hill fan, you should get this. It looks full. I like the premise of the story. I've not read it. I've not read much Joe Hill. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Joe Hill dude. I don't know why I'm doing that. I wish I could stop. I'd probably come too jaded as a collector, but a limited reprint of a story I already have in a nice deluxe signed volume just holds no lure. I passed on Fawn and passed on this one. Yes, I understand, but if you think of the millions of Joe Hill fans, you're gonna get at least 250 that are like Uber collectors. The people who bought Fawn will likely want this one. I mean, yeah, $450. It's like the thing about being off the train for a while is you look at those prices again and you're like, damn. That's some high flying numbers there. And so it's a lot. And I think that it is something that I think I'm over. Like, I can't do that anymore. No, there's no way. So I think, though, it is beautiful, and it is definitely something that if you are a Joe Hill fan, let me just say, if Suntop did a Fracassi, I would probably have to have it at a numbered edition. Dude, Chicago has changed a lot in 20 years. Now I know what living in New York City in 1982 and visiting again in 2002. Mind blown. Really? Yeah, it has changed a lot in 20 years. When were you in Chicago? Recently? Did you go back? It's nuts. Easy pass. Not spending that kind of money on a short story. The book club was a great chat. Yeah, it was. Just FYI, there's only 4 signed copies of Gray from Ian Rogers on the PS Publishing site for any Ian Rogers fans. I have it, so I don't need it. I got it. It's on my shelf. I shelved it myself. So yeah. But good looking out, Jesse. Thanks for the update. The numbered edition looks amazing. Yeah. I wonder when Come With Me from Earthling will ship. Thought it was supposed to be April. I know. I don't know what's up. Paul Miller's been kind of radio silent for a while. So I don't know. It will show up soon though. I'm sure of it. Gray is great. I love that novella. That's like $10 a page for Black Phone. I was just there Saturday, left in 2009. Yeah, Stephen Way, I'm telling you, man, I walked every day from Union Station to Michigan Avenue from 2000. Well, let's just say I started taking the train. Let's just say 2009 to 2020. Every day, those 11 years, I just saw the slow motion rot of the city. The Loop was a ghost town. There were like more for lease signs. And then Lightfoot, the mayor at the time, or Rahm Emanuel before her, was trying to fill those rotting sockets of real estate with traveling art installations. So at least it wouldn't be ugly. They did one building and they updated it one time. So they did one art installation, then they updated it. And I was like excited. I'm like, oh, this is very cool. It's a great idea. They can't get a goddamn tenant, and this is a way to keep, the downtown vibrant and beautiful. And man, that was it. And then it was awful. Homelessness got worse. Um, People with obvious mental illness just wandering the streets got exponentially worse. The people were shitting in the doorway of this symphony. Like there was a big pile of it. I mean, it was absolutely rotting in slow motion. And I have no faith that since I've left in 2022, that it got any better. It's really awful. And I know because I've seen all the news stories about the vacancies. So many like Lowry's, that famous steakhouse where Sinatra always ate. 70-year tradition in Chicago, gone. So many. It's a shame. It's awful. I agree, Jeff. Being off the train does help. I've really trimmed my purchases the last year or so, and it does help denormalize three-figure book buys. Yeah. When you look at a $250 book and you think, "Oh, that's cheap," you're now, I will say for some people who have more disposable income, I think that is totally fine. It just depends on your situation, but it has to be somebody absolutely necessary at that point. Maybe 2008. Wow, I was just maybe 2008. Yeah, I got to say, so that's interesting, Stephen Wilson Jr. I started my job at the agency, the marketing agency, in 2007. And you know what? I must have been taking the train all the time. So let's just say 2007. So yes, you were there in maybe 2008. And when I first started, it was awesome. Walking that mile from Union Station on Michigan Avenue was a joy. Lifelong Chicagoan, I thought it was an honor to have a job in an office on Michigan Avenue. I thought that's it. You're at the height of Chicago. It has some sort of um, prestige, premium, that you're there at that address. And every day I was on the 16th floor. I looked right out the break room window, or the conference room window, onto the Art Institute. And then you come down every day in the summer, and there's these big tour buses and all these gawkers, they're like, oh, and you kind of vicariously get that tourist eye view of the city. You're like, oh wow, this is really an amazing architectural um, skyline. Like, yeah, you do look around a little different at your own hometown, because you get a new appreciation reflected in the awe of these tourists. And man, I'm telling you, that went away. By the time I was done going to that office, the city was just like, it was like the tooth was pulled, and now there's just this rotten gum festering. It really was that bad. And it's a heartbreak because I adored Chicago, adored it. Sub Press has some Roger titles still available. Sycamore Family and Underwood. Really? Sub Press. Kevin's got the scoop. Go over to Subterranean Press to get your Ian Rogers fix. Get up in there. Wow, they still have Family. Family sold out at Earthling. Interesting. I've been to Chicago 8 or 10 times. Last time I was there was awful. We couldn't walk on the street without being accosted by the panhandlers. That was in 2012, I believe. Wow. I lived on the west side for a long time. Wicker Park, Bucktown, Logan Square, Humboldt Park area. I got to witness the outcomes of me and my peers' gentrification. Yeah. I lived in Chicago from 95 to 2009. Yeah, I was in. I used to go to the Green Mill every Sunday for the Uptown Poetry Slam, and producer Jill had a apartment. She lived there for a year. right around from the Green Mill. It was awesome. Loved it. Oh, man. You're getting me nostalgic for a place that no longer exists. And that makes it easier to be in Tennessee. Because I know that city no longer exists. Those nights driving home after an uptown poetry slam at the Green Mill, going down Lakeshore Drive, beautiful city. It was magical. I mean, I thought Jill and I we'd raise our kids in Oak Lawn, which is a suburb that shares a border with the city. And then when we retired and the kids were all out, we would downsize and get a nice condo in the city, in downtown. And that way we would go like, hey, is there a musical we want to see at the Lyric Opera House? Is there something we want to go to at the Shakespeare Theater? Like, where are we going to eat tonight? Nick's Fish Market? Like the Italian Village? Like, oh, I just thought we would have that city at our disposal. We wouldn't need to drive anywhere. We would have a smart car, some stupid bullshit car to commute just around the city. Man, it's a shame. I apologize for what we wrought. You are an NPC to those tourists. I was. And I was happy. 250 for a beautiful edition that's been out of print or only in mass market paperback is a bargain, especially if it's one of your favorite reads. It can be, but just look at Third Rule of Time Travel from Fantasia. That's 150 and it's still available. I think these prices, I didn't appreciate what the prices were for a lot of people. We 100% passed each other. My best buddy lived right around the corner around that time as well. I bet you we did, man. Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. I wish I had started my channel in 2008. Man. I didn't start. The first Cemetery Dance book I bought was 2011. And I didn't really kind of get awakened to all the small press till 2013. And then I started my channel in like 2018. We moved to Seattle in 88, moved out in 24. Talk about change and not for the better. I suspect not even Chicago can compete with that degree of change and rot. Oh, that's a shame, man. It is. I think there's a swing, and I think COVID got it freed a lot of people from urban centers who could do remote work. So the people, which is a shame because the people who could afford to leave did. And what does that leave? The people who are stuck there, who have to deal with all that and don't have the resources to deal with it. And then that gets me even more pissed off at the elected politicians who are not taking care of their people. Because in Chicago, you pay the highest taxes in the nation when it's all totaled up, and you get shit for it. You get nothing. You don't get good infrastructure. You don't get safety. You don't get services. I don't need that. Oh, I don't need that right now. I don't need it. Ron, it's on the same level, just different phase. My sisters lived in Seattle from 94 to 18, changed a ton, even while I lived there. I think Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr., you could say you are omnipresent. You've lived everywhere all the time. You got two baseball teams, though. Yeah, I will say, moving to Tennessee, I thought, wow, I was spoiled, right? And I didn't care. I don't care about baseball. But you had the Cubs, you had the Sox, you had the Bears, you had the Blackhawks. So you had sport teams to root for. Coming to Chattanooga, the entire state of Tennessee does not have one major league baseball team. And I have to go to Nashville for the Titans, and they suck ass. So what is even the point? It's awful. So we went to a Lookouts, which is a minor league game in Chattanooga, and that was fun for the kids. They dug it. They liked it. But I did always want to take them to a Sox game because there's no better place to take a nap. And you get the patio tickets and you eat before while all the players are warming up. Here's my was it a White Sox story? My uncle was a Chicago cop. He was a Chicago detective, and he moonlighted as a security guy at Sox Park, Comiskey Field. And at the time, they're now guaranteed rate. I don't even know what they are now, but he was security there, and he got me on the field. He handed me a baseball, got me on the field while all the players were warming up, and I just stood there leaning against their dugout, not saying a word to anybody because I didn't know any of the players. I was like 11 years old. I didn't know anybody. I never watched baseball. My dad, all he ever watched was World Wrestling Federation and didn't give two shits about baseball. He wasn't even there that day. My other uncles brought me, and they didn't tell me any players' names. They didn't tell me who I should get a signature from. And I just stood there with the ball and went back to the stands with a totally clean baseball. And my uncles just looked at me like there was something wrong with me. I'm like, at this, 50 some years old, I'm like, the kid didn't know anything, man. You guys should have told him who to call out. You could have stood with me down there and said, hey, Ron Kittle, hey, somebody, you want his signature. Why don't you say his name? I just didn't know. And yeah, it's kind of a shame. You will with the next expansion. I'm excited that I have an NBA again here in Arizona. It's been a long time since the Seattle Supersonics were a thing. You don't have an NBA team until you have the Michael Jordan dynasty. Oh, those were golden years for Chicago. But you have football. West Virginia has 0. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Yeah, that's sad. I do love a professional football game. And since I've been to many Bears games, it's like I've already hung out and rooted for the losers. So rooting for the Titans ain't going to be a big deal. I'll call them the Titans. That's what I'll call them. I'm not going to say that word again. Even though the Suns apparently suck. My roommate at the time, mid-2000s, got to throw out the first pitch at a Sox game. Oh, that's cool. God, that's very cool. Got to see Nolan Ryan pitch a few games. Good memories. They were his favorite team. That's nice. We had the better part of a decade with those Bulls. I know we did. And I tell you, I was not a basketball fan, but I was a Michael Jordan fan. I know that's good, that's fair weather bandwagon bullshit, but that just shows you the unifying vibe. And I think everybody loves that sort of stuff. It feels good. Like we're all rooting for something. And when the whole city comes together like that, it feels good. That is done. I think that vibe is extinct. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. And I'm glad I was there for it. Living in Pittsburgh, every professional team is a laughing stock, especially the Pirates. Cover your ears, Mitch. Oh, no. Mitch is going to cry. No. The Steelers were a dynasty, though, Brandon. The Steelers were amazing. I wonder if I saw you all in Chicago in 97 when I went to a Bulls game. I never went to a Bulls game, so you didn't see me, Mitch. Were you was that a past life, Mitch? Were you like 89 years old in 97 and then you were died and you're reincarnated as now you're like 4? Brandon, take it easy. Mitch, it's okay. You're in my division. Sucks as long as you like. Hello, Anthony. Good to see you. I'm sorry to see you selling all your fricassees, man. I believe it was you. Hate to see that. I hope everything's okay, brother. I hope you're all right. I hate when I see those. There's another guy whose name is Brian Freeman, who was a big time collector. He hooked me up with some things. I hooked him up with some things, and then he sold his entire collection because now he's basically into motorcycles. And I gotta say, I mean, there are other things I'd like to collect too, but books have always been number one with me, like my whole life growing up. Brandon, oh man, you ain't lying. I'll be there in a couple weeks chanting, sell the team. uh, my first baseball game was in the Astrodome when I was like 5. Don't remember that much, just the atmosphere. Second time was later when I was like 14, and it was Roger Clemens pitching. That's very cool. It's not everything, just had to make some fundage up. Yeah, I hate hearing that, Anthony. Hope you're okay. I got to sit in a skybox to see the Bulls, but it was after Jordan, so we ignored the game and enjoyed the beer and food. Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, it was like after Jordan was like the Colts after Peyton. And to some extent, the Packers after Favre. You just need a cool off period after somebody like that. You just have to be like, all right, it ain't going to be the same. We just got to take a seat and wait out. Let somebody else have a turn. We're in the afterglow years of somebody who is a mega talent. We're just going to let those years ring out, not get greedy. And that's how it was with the Bulls after Jordan. And then everybody got desperate and wanted Jordan 2.0, and it just didn't work out. I have seen the Cubs play in 25 total parks. Many are gone. Roger just threw out the first ball for the Round Rock Express, Nolan's minor league team. Very cool. Bulls after Jordan was like being a Bills fan in the early 90s. Close, but no dice. Yeah. I think that's like trying to recreate Fracassi Fest. Would be impossible. That was magic. And everybody who was there knows. We all know. It was wonderful. So yes. I didn't think I'd talk about sports because I'm not the person to talk about sports. My buddy bought me a ticket to a Bulls game, and I was supposed to go. And there was a girl I was seeing at the time, and I was supposed to bring her. And then she wigged out on me, and I got really mad. So I went to a House of Pain concert, and my friend was super mad at me, and he had to find somebody else to go with the ticket. I'll always regret that. Always, because that was a really shitty thing to do to a good friend. But also, he bought me a ticket to a Bears game knowing I didn't watch a minute of football. I didn't do that until 2002, 2001. That's when I started watching football. But so it was kind of bullshit that he was like thinking I cared about the game, but he's my best friend. He was a great friend and still is. And who knows? I might have been like, that was awesome. Maybe I would have liked the Bears. So I just finished the night parade a few weeks ago and was convinced it was my favorite. Now I'm 50% into December Park, and I think it's going to have a new number one soon. Isn't that awesome? Wait, did you just cancel for Fracassi Fest 26, the return? No, if there's a Fracassi Fest 26, I'd have to be there for sure. No, but I'm just saying, like, you can't recreate something that was. You can only do the next thing, right? You can only do the next thing and try to make that thing incredible. But the people who keep trying to recreate magic fail. So, like, you can't have another Michael Jordan. You can't have another Peyton Manning, and just enjoy what you have and respect the memory. You can't do a sequel to The Big Lebowski or Roadhouse. You can't reboot Roadhouse. You can't. That's preposterous. That was magic. That was epic. And that needs to ring out. That needs to exist unsullied by an attempt on the memory, because that's what you're attempting to do, overwrite the memory. Anyone watch The Last of Us last night? I'm not a gamer, so the big twist event really took me by surprise. I did not watch it, so don't say anything. I did watch the first episode and was completely turned off. There's nothing likable about the character Ellie. She's an obnoxious teenager, and I refuse to believe she could choke out a 250-pound fit man. Like, it's just you're asking too much. And she was totally unlikable. And I saw some reviews that said that is like a bad creative direction for the TV series, because in the video game, she was tough, she was a badass, but she wasn't obnoxious and just an asshole. Like, there's nothing likable about Ellie in The Last of Us. So I didn't see it. I didn't plan on seeing it, but maybe my son will want to see it. I will watch it if he wants to watch it again. Because I do like enjoying those things with my kids. So I'd be open to it. So don't spoil it, but I was very thoroughly unimpressed with the first episode. Oh, yes, great episode. Also not a gamer, but love the series so far. Bold moves. I am here for them. Not an Ellie fan. I know she was much better in the game. Much better. That's what I'm saying. And I wish I had played the game. I never did. It was one of those games that was like, I just got done with Resident Evil, and they're like, you got to play The Last of Us. And I never did. I never got around to it. I was always wanting to. And then I moved away from gaming. You know, you have kids, you have limited time. It's a book, a movie, or a video game. You can't do all three like you did in your 20s, Jeff. They could have gotten someone better to play Ellie. I'm just as disappointed. Now, I'll say she's probably a great actress. I heard she was great in Game of Thrones. And maybe it's the direction she's given, but it's bad. Like if you're going to go girl boss, just be a girl boss. You don't have to be an asshole. Like, you could just make the character dominate her situations, but not like be a dick about it, because that really makes it you're still insecure. You're still not owning your bossness if you have to be a jagoff. And she was just man. It was just really annoying. And her character is supposed to be 19 years old. That's not like a 15 or a 16-year-old. You know, there is a light years of difference between those ages. There are those teen years where they're snipey, moody, angry, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's that age. They're dealing with things and irritable. But at 19, you're on that smooth edge of teen years. You're really stepping into your own agency, authority, and kind of that sniping bullshit is like what a weak person does. If you're a real boss, you just get the shit done. You don't sit there and run your mouth. And that really undercuts her character. So I'd rather see that. Like, just be a boss. Just like, a barking dog never bites. I remember once I used to work with these guys when I was a Teamster. They were the toughest guys in the world, according to them. And they would run their mouths constantly. But there was one guy, we were hanging out, we were at a bar. And this guy was a very easygoing guy, very nice guy. I had a blast with this. He was a very nice guy. But the rumors were he would clear the bar if he had to. And I'm like, yeah, I hear legends about people all the time. I'm like, this guy's a badass. Well, we were at a bar one night, and these guys started to pick on one of our friends because he was the smallest of us. And so they got into it. And this guy was sitting there laughing with me, talking to me, and he heard this stuff going on, and his face went totally blank. And he went into a state I don't even know I can go to. He was totally blank, and he just went and he took care of business. And you're like, that is somebody who doesn't have to advertise. If you have to tell people you're a badass, you're not. That's what I've learned. Like the real people just take care of business. And that's what this Ellie character, that's why she rubbed me the wrong way. Because it's like probably written by a bunch of people who don't know what a real badass is. So they're like, oh, they say these zingers. No, you don't bark. Because the real people who can take care of things don't ever want to. Like they're not there for it. Like they've had their fill and they just want to have a good time. And the people that bark are looking for it. Those are the people that have issues that want to get beat up, really, because they're in so much internal pain that they're looking to get in physical altercations to kind of justify their victimhood. But and I knew this other guy, growing up as a kid who would just not, he wasn't a barking dog. Anyway, they could have gotten someone better to play. Yeah. That Abby actress would have been a better Ellie. Maybe. The funny thing is that was the right call. Abby in the video game is like this bodybuilder woman. And as the reviewer I read said, in an apocalypse, you're not going to have bodybuilders. Bodybuilding is a luxury of somebody who has access to a lot of protein, a lot of calories, and a lot of time to be in a gym and lift heavy things and train. Like you can't do that if you're also trying to fight for survival. So people will probably be more fit and lean and have more muscle mass, but not to the extent of bodybuilders. So in the video game, Abby is this like bodybuilding woman who is a real badass. But you're right. I think maybe, so the casting in the TV series makes more sense. Yeah, she was good in Game of Thrones. I'm still on season 1, so I haven't got an opinion yet on Ellie. Season 1 was great. I love season 1, Last of Us. I thought it was great. I really, her attitude in season 1 made sense. I think there was a lot going on. It did not rub me the wrong way. She was the same way she is in season 2, and maybe that's why they're doing it, because they think that was very successful. People really liked it. We got to keep the character the same. I don't know, but it doesn't work. It's super annoying, and they're doing too much with it. Can't say more to avoid spoilers. Thank you, appreciate it. As a dad of daughters, the father pseudo-daughter dynamic of the first season, that intimacy and growth made the first season so special. This season, the lack of that dynamic, it's a shame. And I can understand, like the first season, that dynamic, you're right. It really is the axis on which the story spins. Otherwise, Joel would never do what he did at the end of season 1 if that dynamic did not exist and deepen during the whole season. So that logical flow and that conclusion of the first season, yes, the payoff is exactly right. And season 2, I could see maybe like she's feeling restless, needs to define herself in this sort of rebuilding world of an apocalyptic catastrophe dystopia. And so therefore a little bit of pulling away might be acceptable, but yeah, it shouldn't be just completely severed, because there's nothing at stake then you're like, oh, that's a shame, it's like a death in the family. Well, nothing to do now but survive. You got to have something to survive for, I've been watching. I just haven't said hello yet. Hey, Russell, good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. I'm glad you had a happy Easter. Hope Roll Oats is doing well, and you got your frother going, I assume. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Cheers. I'm not going to cheers you with a beer. Just this is a soda, Russell. This is a soda. Cheers with a soda. A soda with 11% ABV. But, you know, a soda, a pop. Anyway, yeah. So Last of Us, I think if Ian, I didn't know there was a twist in episode 2 already. Are we only on episode 2? Because there's another series I told the boy I would like, not the boy, that I'd like to watch, and that was The Bondsman with Kevin Bacon. My one most guilty pleasure. Now, I think maybe by now, I'm not a highbrow elitist by any means. Like I spent more than a decade earning my money with calluses on my hand. Like I'm not an elitist. I'm a very, very blue collar working class guy. And but I don't like stupid things. I just don't I don't like stupid things. If I think they are insulting to the intelligence, I don't like them. But my biggest guilty pleasure, and again, I don't always go for highbrow stuff. That sounded like I'm an asshole. So forget that. But I usually don't if there's something that's like really, really stupid, I can't do it. I can't just enjoy it. But my biggest guilty pleasure is The Following. You ever see that show, The Following? Kevin Bacon is an FBI agent who got this famous this serial killer locked up in jail, right? The serial killer who became a cult leader who stylized himself after Edgar Allan Poe. He got him locked up. So this Hannibal Lecter-ish character still wields a lot of influence among his cult. And the cult still exists, but it's very underground. Well, in the show The Following, the cult sort of starts to reassemble among his acolytes, and there's like 80,000 of them. And they all go after the FBI agent Kevin Bacon, who put their leader something Carol in jail. So Carol is very charismatic, and he gets his messages to his acolytes to go after Ryan Steele or whatever the guy's name is. And it's the stupidest show you've ever seen. It's so awesome because Kevin Bacon has another follower. He kills like 8 followers every episode. They all do this crazy sort of theatrical murderous tableau, and Kevin Bacon shows up and he rounds up a bunch of them and he just murders them. So he never runs out of baddies to kill. And so the show is able to have an elite bunch of disciples who Ryan can't kill because they are so good. The big baddie who's still in jail, and then a bunch of NPC acolytes who you could just run through. So you're getting some satisfaction that justice is served, but not enough justice to lose interest in the show. And for me, that's what keeps it awesome. I loved that show. And for that reason, Kevin Bacon has ascended to somewhat a god status, in my opinion. As far as entertaining, oh my God, I love The Following. That was so fun. Yeah, are over here watching The Last of Us. Meanwhile, you are over here watching The Last of Us. Meanwhile, I'm over here watching Cupcake Wars. Oh man, Cupcake Wars is still entertainment. Got to find some time to fit some NHL playoffs on your schedule. I don't think people watch the games on TV. They go to the games. I never watched any hockey. I went to a Blackhawks game once and screamed myself raw. I couldn't talk for 4 days after the game and never watched another game. But there was an energy that possessed me at the United Center when I watched the Blackhawks play, and it was I don't know what the word is. Transformative. I want to say transitional. What? It's not that word. It was something. Whatever. It put me to a whole other state of being. Almost no writers in mainstream media writes good characters anymore. More often than not, they are a caricature of something made out to be serious. Doesn't work for me. I know, and that's the thing. Like, I've realized as I've gotten older that the thing that authors need is belief. They need to believe in their characters. As insane as they are, as crazy as they are, they need to believe in it. Because if they don't believe in it, and that's the thing, when I sit down to write fiction, I roll my eyes. I'm like, nobody's going to believe. I don't believe this. And that's the missing it factor. You have to believe in your story. And I think if the authors believe in it, it translates. But if somebody's writing because they can be an adequate writer and they can churn out a plot, but they don't really believe in it, yeah, it falls flat. The following was awesome. I know, wasn't it? It was awesome. We started the Bondsman last night. Barely got through one episode. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That's a bummer for me. I was worried about that, actually. The Bondsman is okay, a bit redundant with that monster of the week type of trope, but still generally entertaining. Haven't seen the following. I'll keep an eye out for it. It's old. I don't know where you can find it. Joe Carroll. That's it. Edgar Allan Poe. Acolyte. It's old. You probably find it on some streaming service. Maybe it's on Netflix or something. It was early 2000. Transcendental. Patty's with it. Transcending. Yes, that's the word. Thank you. You knew it. True story. When I was in a school for the Navy and the SEALs recruited me hard due to my endurance scores in my field. I laughed at them, but they kept telling me, nah, man, we're all your size. Wow. That's nothing to scoff at, Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr. Nothing to scoff at. Cheers to you, endurance man. Insane to me that ESPN switched off from the Canadian Capitals while they were tied and just finished the end of regulation. Have a great evening, week, folks. Take it easy, Kevin. Here we are. Wesley Carroll's here. Hello, Wesley Curry. Trump shall bring the Omnibar. The Omnibar shall be branded. The Omnibar shall be branded barcode, branded by the handheld lasers. I'm not getting a chip implanted or a barcode. Full stop. Law shall be passed to oppress you that you must be branded with the barcode Omnibar to walk into a store to buy food. Well, then guess what? I'm going to shoot a deer out here and feed my family. I am not going to get whatever. Omnibar. That sounds like Wunderbar. I was today years old when I found out Chuck E. Cheese's lore. Showbiz for life. Showbiz pizza place. There was a recent brawl in a Chuck E. Cheese. Very rare occurrence, I'm told. Chuck E. Cheese is like where you get a lot of split families show up because of a child's birthday. So you get like divorced parents or people who were never married or never, and like a mom and an estranged dad, and then they bring their new partners and I saw a study. I swear to God, I saw a very legitimate news article about why Chuck E. Cheese's are a powder keg and they should never have a liquor license. I swear to God, I saw it. Free Omnibars will be given out at JeffCon. Omnibars. They're everywhere all the time. Omnibars. I'm not getting a tattoo of a barcode. I was going to get a tattoo of a barcode as a sort of passive aggressive emo. We're all just a commodity type protest tattoo. I'm glad I didn't. I was also going to get a tattoo of maybe on my forearm, a tattoo of the Teamsters logo on my arm for, There we go. We got the Paul Booth design, but I was going to get the Teamster logo with the two-headed horse and the wheel I was going to do that, but I never did. I'm glad. I was going to get Local 703 because that was a union I was in. Local 703. Those were the days. All the different flavors as well. Mitch. I'm sorry, I meant Mitch. Thank you. Don't ever forget the all caps again. Dinner bell rings. Thanks for hosting. Take it easy, Ron. I've got to go too. I'm a little bit over. I'm in extra innings right now. It's 10:05 out here on the Eastern time zone. I'm on the westernmost of the Eastern time zone. I'm as far north as you can go in the South. And that is to say, I have literally never belonged anywhere I've been. I don't expect you to cry for me. But I just thought I'd be emo for a mo. For a mo. Happy belated Easter. Hope it was great. Great evening, all. Take it easy. Thanks, Jeff. Night, all. Take it easy. Everybody go out there. Be good to each other. But most importantly, be good to yourself. Cheers. And go out and do all the things that bring you joy and bring the joy to other people because that's where the joy grows. Grow the joy. And I will see you next week where I will get to drink. Really, this whole evening was just an excuse to have a Jeff Ward Stout. I only have 3 left. And they're going to be here for the next 3 weeks. I lie. I'm probably going to put one in the fridge right now and have it tomorrow. But anyway, I'm ruining the vibe. It was supposed to be a schmaltzy end. Good night, and I will see you all again next week.